The dilemma. Am I overreacting or is this inappropriate? It's a uniquely isolating feeling. You're looking directly at a situation that makes your skin crawl, but because the person causing it wraps their behavior in a sweet, high-pitched veneer of innocence, you end up looking like the difficult one. For one 37-year-old wife who recently reached out for clarity, this dynamic has been playing out for 14 years with her husband's sister-in-law, 39, who started as an oddly sweet demeanor slowly morphed into a textbook pattern of boundary-pushing territorial remarks and excessive physical affection, culminating in the sister-in-law physically sitting on her husband's lap in front of her own children while joking about him being their uncle. When she voiced her discomfort to her husband, his response was passive. He didn't want to cause friction with his brother, claiming he was just keeping the peace. If you ever found yourself in a similar tug-of-war between a boundary-crossing relative and an avoidant partner, you aren't crazy. Let's break down what is actually happening here, why you aren't overreacting, and why the real issue isn't just the difficult relative. It's the partner who refuses to manage her. SIL is inappropriate and I'm pissed. This is a post, Reddit post. I, 37, need some clarity on whether I'm overreacting about my husband's 43-year-old male brother's wife, who's 39. We've been together 14 years, married 8, and from early on, she's had what feels like an odd dynamic with him. At first, she's very sweet, too sweet in fact. She has a childish way about her, but over time, it turned into comments and behavior that make me uncomfortable. She'll say things like, "Before you came along, he went everywhere with us. Now he doesn't go anywhere without you," which feels territorial. At their wedding, I wasn't included in the bridal party, but she told my husband I might be needed if someone dropped out, which I refused. And at their pregnancy announcement, everyone got t-shirts saying, "You're going to be a grandpa, grandma, uncle, aunt, etc., except me." Then later, she said, if I didn't go to dinner, my husband wouldn't either. She's also very physically affectionate with him. Actually, she is like this with a lot of people, but particularly him. Jumping on him, hugging excessively, and I said multiple times, she'd name her kids after him. She wanted to name her children after my husband. I told her directly that made me uncomfortable and she apologized. She's also had girls, but the pattern hasn't really changed. There's also this competitive undertone. She followed me to the same school path, compares gifts and even comments about wanting to be seen as sexy like me, and hates that people call her cute. The most recent situation was her jumping on my husband's lap in front of her kids, joking with her kids saying, "This is my uncle." And he didn't move. I didn't react in the moment, but told him after that it crossed the line. I kind of lost respect for him. I don't want to see her or be near her. Now I'm stuck feeling frustrated because her behavior feels inappropriate, but she comes off sweet, so I end up looking like the problem. At the same time, I recognize my frustration has built up over years, and part of the issue is my husband not setting clear boundaries in the moment. I don't think I'm wrong for feeling uncomfortable, but I'm wondering if I'm letting it get to me too much, or if this is actually as inappropriate as it feels. The thing that makes this harder is my husband's personality. When I ask him why he doesn't say or do anything in those moments, he says he doesn't want to create problems with his brother. He's very passive and non-confrontational, the type to kind of sweep things under the rug and keep it moving, whereas I'm the opposite and more direct. So from his perspective, he thinks he's keeping the peace. But from mine, it feels like he's not setting boundaries or standing up for me in situations that are clearly uncomfortable. I understand not wanting family conflict, but I also feel like avoiding it is allowing the behavior to continue, which is what really frustrates me. He has promised me that if anything like this happens again, he will move away quickly, but I'm so tired of her and these games. It feels like she's gaslighting me. Am I crazy? Am I overreacting? I've not said anything to her about this situation, but I have spoken with my husband, my family, and his mother about it. Everyone thinks it's inappropriate. My husband is still trying to downplay, like we can move on from it. No big deal. Red flags. When behavior builds up over years, it's easy to second guess yourself. You might ask, did she really mean it like that? But when you look at the cumulative picture, the narrative, becomes pretty clear. Here are the key indicators of boundary violations present in this particular dynamic. Number one is the territorial narrative, framing you as the intruder who stole him away from his family traditions. Before you came along, he went everywhere with us. The next one is exclusionary tactics, leaving you out of the milestones like custom family announcement t-shirts, while simultaneously demanding your attendance under threat of your husband's absence. The next one is inappropriate physical boundaries, overstepping standard platonic limits under the guise of being just a touchy-feely person, specifically targeting your spouse. The next one, imishment fantasies, expressing a desire to name her children after your husband, a red flag that points to an unhealthy level of psychological attachment. Last one being the sweet mask, gaslighting. Because the behavior is delivered with a smile or a laugh, it forces the recipient to either accept the disrespect or look like the bad guy for calling it out. The core issue, in situations like this, the outside relative is only half of the equation. The more damaging dynamic often lies in the response, or lack thereof, from your spouse. For passive partners, keeping the peace usually means sweeping tension under the rug and prioritizing the comfort of extended family over the immediate comfort of their spouse. They fear a confrontation with their brother or parents more than they fear the erosion of trust in the marriage. Direct communicators process tension by addressing it head on. When a partner minimizes the issue, it's no big deal, just move on. It feels like betrayal. It sends a message, my comfort matters less to him than avoiding a slightly awkward family conversation. The erosion of respect. Over time, the inability of a husband to stand up for his wife in real time breeds resentment. You don't just lose patience with the relative, you begin to lose respect for the partner who fails to protect the boundary. Are you overreacting? Short answer is no. You're not overreacting to the behavior itself. Validation is pretty crucial here. When multiple third parties, including family members and his own mother, agreed that the behavior is inappropriate, it confirms that your internal compass is functioning correctly. However, it's common to let frustration build to a boiling point when boundaries are repeatedly ignored. Your anger isn't just about the lap-sitting incident. It's the accumulation of 14 years of unaddressed slights, minor disrespects, and your husband's continuous minimization of your feelings. How to move forward. If you resonate with this story, staying silent and letting resentment simmer will only drive a wedge between you and your partner. Here are a few steps to regain clarity and control. First, shift the focus from her to him. You can't control the sister-in-law's behavior, and trying to decode her motives is an exhausting trap. Focus entirely on the agreement between you and your husband. Next, define boundaries, not avoidance. Moving away, as the husband offered, might be a temporary band-aid, but it doesn't solve the core communication gap. Your husband needs to learn how to tolerate slight discomfort with his extended family to protect the deep comfort of his marriage. Lastly, insight on real-time alignment. Waiting until you get home to discuss an issue allows the moment to pass. Your husband needs to understand that his silence is an endorsement of her behavior. He doesn't need to start a screaming match, but a simple, calm intervention in the moment. Hey, let's not do that. Is a baseline requirement for a healthy marriage. Join the conversation. Have you ever dealt with a boundary-stretching relative while your partner chose to look the other way? How did you bridge the gap between the different conflict styles? Share your thoughts in the comments or seek advice from a professional. Thank you for listening.